How much does being tall help with women, help with attracting women? I've gotten this question so many times in my life, like not thousands of times, but like good amount of times, right? So let's talk about it, guys. For reference, I am 6'2" barefoot. So in public, when I have my shoes on, about 6'2" and a half, right? 6'3", depending on what shoes I have on. But 6'2" barefoot. Somebody asks my height, I'm gonna say I'm 6'2". Where does 6'2" rank? I'm tall, right? I'm above 6 foot, but I'm not 6'5", right? I'm 6'2". I think 6'2" is a great height, honestly. And not to toot my own horn, right? But I've seen some street interviews, and 6'2" is usually like the perfect height that comes up. Right, 6'2", everybody talks about, even like within like the looks max and like aesthetic community, people will talk about like, oh, like when you get like super tall, like it's hard to fill out your frame. 6'2" is like usually like that golden height. So I like my height, right? I'm not here to toot my own horn. I'm here to talk about men's self development, right? A little bit of dating videos. We're gonna get going. Now, being tall does help with women, right? Being tall is a halo. Women like tall men, right? Women are attracted to things that men have that are just biologically wired in them to show them that they could pick a mate that has good reproduction abilities, right? So height, muscle, communication skills, these hair, right? Clear skin, the things I talked about yesterday too. Like these things are real psychological things that women are attracted to. But the thing is that I see a lot of men not know how to deal with being tall if they are tall, or not know how to deal with not being tall if they're not tall. There's very few men who are tall who are actually using the fact that they're tall to help their life. And what I mean by that is, if you go outside, the average guy who's 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", he's still cooked, bro. Like he's not using his height. He's still chopped. And am I saying that everybody needs to be a model? Everybody needs to be, Marlon or something crazy? I'm not saying that. But or King 6'8". I'm not saying that. But you'll see a lot of dudes. They'll be 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". They won't be in the gym. They won't dress well. They won't take care of their hair. They won't take care of their skin. Like they're not using the halos that they have to put themselves in the best position to attract the best women. It's crazy. Like you ever see a dude and he's like 6'4", but he's just all hunched over and like 80 pounds overweight and slopping. You're like, damn, he's just not living up to his full potential. There's plenty of that, guys, right? There's plenty of that. So being tall is a halo. I'm not gonna sit up here and cope. Being tall is a halo. It is something that helps attract women, but it's not the end all be all. There's plenty of tall guys. I've seen tall guys be like, I'm 6'5", and I struggle with women. I've seen that before. I've seen guys talk about it online. I've seen think pieces and a whole bunch of stuff with guys talking about that. So don't think that being tall is just some cheat code. Now, when you get to like super tall levels, there can also be diminishing returns, right? So there's nuances to certain stuff, right? Now, for short guys, a lot of short guys, they feel a way about not being tall. I made a reel about this earlier today. Now, I complimented a short guy on his physique. I was like, that's a great physique, bro. And he's like, yeah, I'm just missing the height. And it's like, in my head, I think I even told him, yeah, I told him, because I'll just tell people what it is. I told him, I was like, bro, don't say that. Like, even if you're joking, bro, like, don't even joke like that, because you're emitting a certain energy to me as another man. Like, you're already telling me you're not confident in yourself. So I don't have as much respect for you as I will another man that is confident in himself. And that's just how it is, right? And then obviously you're going to emit that type of energy with women. Short dudes will talk about how they can't get women. I've heard short dudes talk about like the way that women feel about height and stuff like that. But it's like in real life, bro, if you're 5'6", 5'7", 5'8" with a decent physique and confidence, you'll be fine, bro. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. So this idea that if you're short, you can't attract women, we're not going for that, bro. We're not going for that. As men, we always have to be focusing on what we can control. We always should be focused on what we can control, right? Now, being tall, your height is not something that you can control. So because it's not something that you can control, we don't focus on it, bro. We don't focus on it. Dudes would be talking about limb lengthening surgeries and a whole bunch of goofy shit, bro. We're not doing that. We're not doing that, bro. If you're short, you're 5'5", 5'4", 5'6", 5'7", right? Because 5'8", 5'9" is a normal height. They'll call you short online, but if you're 5'8", 5'9", you're just normal height, bro. Like, you're not short, right? 5'7" and below is short. If you're short, it is what it is, right? Now, oftentimes, you also hear women talk about how they don't necessarily want a tall guy, but they want a guy that's taller than them. So, like, if you're 5'7", you could get a woman that's like 5'4", 5'3", right? Like, that's fine, bro. You're 5'8", you could get a woman that's like 5'3", 5'4". Now, are there some women who are short? I've seen women who aren't even 5'2" talking about they need their man to be 6 foot and be dead serious. Yes, like that happens too, right? But just don't take those women seriously. Like I talked about yesterday, we're only dealing with women that find us attractive. We're not trying to convince women to find us attractive, whether that be like verbally, whether that be through money, whether that be through status, whether that be through time spent together. We're not doing that shit, bro. There's no physical attraction. It's a dub, bro. Like real talk. So like if you're a short dude and you know that this girl, all of her exes or all the dudes that she's been with or all the dudes that she follows on Instagram, like they're all tall or whatever, like, bro, for you to even think that you could entertain that is goofy. Like, I wouldn't do that. And I'm going to keep it a real, if we're going to talk about dating on this channel, I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm not here to sugarcoat things with you guys. Because I'll see all the time girls would be like, oh, all my exes are 6'4" plus, and I'm going to give this 5'9" dude a chance. That shit, no, bro. That shit, no. Those be the same type of girls when you guys might get into a little argument. She'll low key throw your height in there, but it's a joke. Like she'll make fun of your height as a joke, or she'll try to little bro you as a joke, or like you break up and she'll disrespect you. Like, oh, like I'm used to guys. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll always be something in the back of their mind, and it's not something. If you guys get what I'm saying, like it's not something that women are just gonna act like doesn't exist. Like if she really has a height requirement and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna deal with this guy because he seems sweet, but but he's not 6 foot." Fuck all that, bro. Don't even entertain it. Right? If you're a short dude, you're gonna want to be with women that don't have height as a big requirement. Because women, they're gonna have requirements at different levels. Yes, women are biologically wired usually to like taller men, but some women are gonna prioritize that in their dating requirements more than others. Some women that's like top two, top three. Some women that's top one. Some women they don't really care, right? Some women literally don't care. I've met women who literally don't care. So yes, being tall helps with dating. It helps with attracting women, especially because women are visual, just like men are visual. A lie that a lot of men believe is that women aren't visual. And if you've really been outside, then you understand that women are damn near just as visual as men, right? So that's not true. But you cannot control your height, guys. I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you guys and act like it's not a halo, but I'm also not going to tell you guys that you're fried if you don't have it. Neither are well, the halo part is true, but the latter isn't true, right? You're not fried if you don't have height. You're not, right? But you have to have that confidence, guys. If you really feel a way about your height, do not. I mean, there's a way to go around it, but me personally, like, I wouldn't even, like, if I was short, I know some guys that could do like the self-deprecation, like humor. I wouldn't even do that, bro. Like, don't show any weaknesses. Like, don't even show that it's something that bothers you. Just don't do it, bro. You're 5'5", bro. You don't need height boosters. You don't need any of that goofy shit, bro. Like, you don't need to bring it up in conversations. You don't, if somebody compliments your physique, you don't need to say, yeah, but I'm missing height, bro. I'm not as tall as you. Like, you don't need to do none of that shit, bro. All homie had to do was just say thank you. You too. If he felt my physique was cool, and if he didn't, he could have just said thank you. He didn't have to pull himself down, bro. Right? And when you have that type of internal mindset, it all starts with you. So like the energy that you have inside of you is what you're going to give to others. So I could already know just off the strength of that little 30-second interaction that I had with dude, he probably emits that type of energy. I don't know if he has a girl. I don't know if he's dating, but he would probably emit that type of energy when he's dealing with women. Because he emitted that type of energy with my interaction with him. right? So you always want to be firm on your frame, bro. Even if you have a smaller frame, right? Even if you are a smaller man. As men, we all want to be tall. We all want to have muscle. I understand that. But we all have to be able to focus on what we can control and not worry about things that we can't control. That's like the basis of being a man. The basis of being a man is, hey, I can't control this, so I don't give time, energy, and resources towards it. I can control this, so I do everything in my power to fix it. That's how all men should live their life. So yes, being tall does help attract women. A lot of women do prefer taller men, especially women. When we start talking about women, most of the women that I've dealt with are between like 5'7" and 5'10". I've dealt with, I would say like the majority of the women I've dealt with is like 5'7". That just happens to be like a sweet spot for me, 5'7", 5'8". But I've dealt with like some 5'11", 6'2", too. And like at that point, you know, you'll get some women, they might be taller. So it might be between like 5'9" and like 6 foot. I don't really run into it. I've run into like a couple women who have been like 6'2", 6'3", but like most of like the taller women are gonna be between like 5'8" and like 6 foot, right? Some of them, they might be so used to being taller than men that they just don't care, right? Fuck it, I'll deal with the 5'7", 5'8" dude, or just an average height 5'10" dude, and we'll just be the same height. Or even they might have a requirement that I'm too short for them, right? They might be 5'11". They need their dude to be 6'4" and up. They want that 5-inch gap. There's like things happen, guys. Requirements. Everybody has requirements, right? As a short dude, what type of requirements do you have? Do you have requirements, or are you steady trying to meet the requirements of the woman? As a man, like fuck my height, but just as a man, I don't. I focus on my requirements. I don't focus on trying to meet another woman's requirements, but I don't give a fuck about her requirements. She got to meet mine. There's a certain height that I usually like, a certain body that I usually like, definitely a certain energy that I usually like. One of my big requirements is I don't like women who are like aggressive. I don't like that shit, bro. Like I like my women like super like feminine, bro. I don't like women that like try to like joke at my expense. Like I'm not a hee hee ha ha type of nigga, bro. So like I'm very picky with the type of woman I like, now, like especially now. And I imagine I'll get even pickier as I get older. Right. But as a man, short or tall, you want to be focusing on, does this woman meet my requirements? Not do I meet her requirements. I don't give a fuck about her requirements, bro. You're a short dude, bro. You shouldn't be like, I wonder if she likes short guys. You should be like, bitch, I only like, and I don't mean to like cuss, right? I don't call women bitches, but you should be like, I only like women that wear purple. Like real talk, that should be the type of mindset you have. Like when I used to be out in the field, I used to tell chicks, you gotta wear this when you come over. Like black is my favorite color. If you're not coming in my clothing line, because I have my own clothing line, I want you to come in black, bro. Like I like my women wearing black. If I feel it red, I might tell her like come wearing some red, bro. Are you coming at this time? Like it's your way, bro. Right? Sometimes I tell women I want like do your hair this way. Like it's your requirements, bro. It's not you trying to acquiesce to her requirements. We're not doing that, bro. And I know I'm talking about like actual like we met and now we're talking and now we're hanging out. But even off of like a physical level, as a short guy or as a taller guy, whatever, it should always be the focus on her meeting your requirements. You're a short dude, you're 5'7", but you like women that are 5'4", you need to be, or you like women that are 5'9", that needs to be like, that's my requirement. You know, I'm a short guy, but I like my women taller than me, so that's my requirement. Not do I meet her standards, it's does she meet my standards? It's our game, fellas. The women are coming into our world, and that'll be a whole nother video. There's so much I could talk about with dating and with relationships and stuff, guys, because this is a whole bag I haven't even touched on, bro. I could really get into the bag, right? But they're coming into our world, right? When you look to meet her standards, you're going into her world. You never go into the woman's world. She has to fall into your frame, your world, your mindset, your philosophies, your everything, bro. And like everything to the T. Like she should be trying to talk like you, I'll get women around me. They start wearing my clothing line. They start using my lingo, the way I talk. I'm like, you don't even talk like that. She just picked it up, bro. Start going to the gym, start eating healthier, all that. They have to fall into your frame. Even as a short guy, you need a frame, you need requirements, you need standards, just like any other man, right? But you have to feel worthy of having these standards, right? So this is the video, man. Yes, being taller does help attract women. But is it the end all be all? No. There's plenty of tall dudes that are just clueless, brother. NPCs. They're 6'5". They have really good genetics. They'll never get it, bro. They'll never use it to level up in business, to level up their communication skills, to level up in dating. And the dude who's 5'7", who's 5'6", who's getting his physique on point, who's getting his mindset on point, who's getting his business or his career on point, and who's actually out here in the field putting up shots, he will do numbers and he will lap the 6'4" chud, bro. Like, he's gonna lap the 6'4" chud, bro. I'm just keeping it a buck, bro. He's lapping that chud. So I hope this is a little bit of motivation for you guys. I like to keep it real. I'm gonna drop another video today. I'm gonna get this video out right now, but we're gonna drop another video today. We just hit 1K subs, and I'm happy about it. We're gonna go live tomorrow, so you guys join the live. This is Randall Branch. If you want to work with me, check the description. If you want to speak to me one-on-one, check the description. Right, strategy calls help you guys. And if you need help building your body, right, fixing your nutrition, fixing your training, 24-week coaching program, all that, it will be in the work with me link. My TikTok, my Instagram, business email. If you guys want to DM me some questions, I'm taking video requests, right? Mindset, body, creative life, relationships. Overall, just self-development. What else we got? I think that's it. Yeah, that's it, man. I'll see you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop some comments, man. I'll respond to all comments. If you drop some stupid shit, you're going to get the fire emoji, though. I keep my fire emoji on deck. I see somebody drop some bullshit, especially with a no profile pic. You just get a fire emoji. We get the traction. We'll keep it moving. See you guys later today.